All right, everyone. So this video, we will be going over how to combine like terms or combinando, terminos similares. I tried. All right. So first, let's observe our expression. I see two expressions in parentheses, and in between them, I see a plus sign. That means we are going to add these two expressions together. Well, when we look at them, I see that I have three different types of variables or three different types of terms. The first term I see is x squared. So I see an x squared here. And I'm going to highlight the other x squared I see. So I have x squared here and x squared here. I see that I have x by itself. Now some people think these are the same, but they are not the same. They're different. So this is a completely different term. And the 5 and the -4, I see that these don't have x's. So we're just going to group them together as just numbers. All right, so what I like to do to help me keep literally all my ducks in a row is I like to lay out all the different types of variables that we have. So let me write it in red. We have x squared. We have x. And we just have our numbers. Keep forgetting writing the colors. All right, so what we're going to do is just write them all out. So first we have -5x squared. And then our next expression, we have 3x. So I'm going to line it up with the x. So plus 3x is positive. And then I have plus 5. The next expression, I have -x squared. So I'm going to put that underneath the other x squared. And let's not forget, when we add, we do not change the signs. That's one thing we need to remember. So we're adding, and we do not change the signs. It's very important. So it means we're going to keep their signs the same. So I have -x squared. And then we have -10x. So I'm going to put it up under the x. And -4, -4. Now all we're going to do is combine our like terms. Now I know it says add, but we're going to look at the signs that each individual term has. So our first one is I have -5 minus, and what's the coefficient in front of here? We don't see it because it's invisible, but it's a 1. So we have -5 minus 1. So I have -6. So this would be -6x squared. And then this number would be x, and this number would be a number by itself. So I have -6x squared. So let's do 3 minus 10. 3 minus 10, -7. X. And then 5 minus 4, we know that's going to equal to 1. I don't need a calculator for that one. 1. So I'm going to put +1 because it is positive. Now this, once we are done adding up all of our terms, we are done. This is our answer. So if you want me to rewrite it, it's -6x squared minus 7x plus 1. Let's do another example. Example number 2. First, let's observe it. I see two expressions in parentheses, and this time I see that we are subtracting. Now, the special thing about subtract is we have to change our signs, and that only applies to the second term. So I'll explain that a little bit later. Change signs. All right, so let's see, what are our different types of variables? So the first one I see is an x squared. So I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to see if I see any other x squareds. This one just has x and y. This one is y squared. Here's another x squared, and that's not x squared, and that one is not x squared. Let's look at our next term. The next term I see is xy. So let's go through our problem and see which highlight all of our xy terms. Here's another xy here. And the last one I see is y squared. So I'm going to highlight that one. Y squared. All right, now let's lay out all of our different terms. I have x squared, xy, and y squared. Now let's go through and line up. The first term stays the same. So we have negative 6x squared, and then minus 13xy, and then plus, oh, I'm writing these all in the wrong color, but plus 11y squared. Now it's the second one. Now the second one, we have to remember to change the signs. So that's going to make this one for x squared. It's going to make it, whenever I have minus, I have to change my sign. So this is going to be plus 4x squared. And this would be minus 7xy. And this one would be plus 3y squared. Okay, so this is a very important step for subtract. Only when you subtract, you got to change the signs. Now we do our math. So negative 6, this one would be x squared, xy, y squared. So negative 6 plus 4, this would be negative 2. And then negative 13 minus 7, that is going to be negative 20. And then 11 plus 3 is positive 14. So my answer is negative 2x squared minus 20xy plus 14y squared. All right, let's do one more. One more. This one I have 3 different ones. Oh my goodness. So let's go through. I see a plus and I see a minus. That means all my signs will change. All right. So let's line them up. Let's color them first. So I see 4x. I'm color all my x's. There's an x here. And there's an x there. Let's color all of our z's. Let's go with z. Z is next. Z there. And here's another z. And here's another z. And let's color all of our y's. So here's y. This one doesn't have a y. And here's another y. All right, let's line them up. So this one is going to be, make this one x. And let's go in order. X, y, and then we're going to have z. So the first one is 4x. Then I have negative 2z. Z, don't put it next to the y. Negative 2z. And 5y. So plus 5y. So I'm adding so my signs stay the same. So let me show you that. if I add same signs, remember? So now I know I'm adding. So I keep my signs the same. So I have a negative 11z. So that's going to go under the z. And 8x. I'm putting 8x. This one, I'm going to change my sign. So now we're subtracting. Remember, when you subtract, we got to change our signs. So negative 14x is going to change to positive 14x. Positive y is going to change to minus y. And negative 3z will change to plus 3z. Now we're just going to add them all up. 4, let me get a calculator. This is a lot of numbers. 4 plus 8 plus 14, 26. Here's mine. Okay. 6x. And then 5. And then this is 0. So 5 plus 0 minus 1. So there's a 1 right here. So 5 minus 1 is 4y. And let me do this. Negative 2 minus 11 plus 3 is negative 10z. So my answer is 26x plus 4y minus 10z.